Hey everybody, it's Lee Montgomery of SceneDaily.com. We're here to talk about the WIX Filters Pick 3 Stock Car Racing Fantasy Game. I hope you did a little bit better in Week 2, just as I did, as compared to Week 1. Week 1 was a terrible week for me, but Week 2 turned out to be pretty good at California Auto Club Speedway. Jimmy Johnson didn't do so hot for me, but he still ran fairly well early in the race. Then David Ruman and Brian Vickers were both good choices for me for the other two tiers there at California, and they've worked out pretty well. And this week we're on to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a 1.5 mile track. We'll have a lot of these this year, but the thing about Vegas is, even though it is a 1.5 mile track, it was repaved not that long ago, so there's not a whole lot to compare it to on the rest of the schedule. So you kind of have to go by what happened at Vegas last year, and then some other 1.5 mile tracks that are similar to Vegas in that D shape, Chicago and Kansas. So this week I'm going with, for Tier 1, Greg Biffle. He was solid last year. He didn't win on one of those three tracks, but he was the only driver with top 5 finishes at each one. He was 3rd at Vegas last year, 4th at Chicago, and 3rd at Kansas. And he's probably got something to prove after California, where he slid through his pit and may have blown a chance at winning the race. So I expect him to run up front again. Other good choices for that group would be Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, or Jimmy Johnson. The three of those split those three races that we're talking about: Chicago, Kansas, and Vegas. And of course, we can't forget about Matt Kenseth, who's won 2 in a row and should be up front at Las Vegas again. And for Tier 2 this week, I'm going to go with David Ragan of Roush Fenway Racing. He's pretty much an easy choice out of that group. Last year he was 7th at Vegas and 8th at Chicago and Kansas, and Roush Fenway is clearly on top of its game these days. If you don't want to go with Ragan, maybe he's a little too risky for you, maybe you should try Mark Martin. He had top 10 finishes at Kansas and Chicago last year. He didn't run at Vegas, and he's upgraded to Hendrick Motorsports, so he should be a contender as well. For Tier 3, I'm going to go with a wild card, Elliott Sadler. He was 12th at Vegas and Chicago last year, and 10th at Kansas. And Richard Petty Motorsports has clearly picked up its game so far early in 2009, and that should continue. And if you don't like Sadler, then maybe another choice would be A.J. Allmendinger, Sadler's Richard Petty teammate. With Red Bull last year, he was 13th at Chicago and 9th at Kansas. And we got to talk about the WIX Filters lap leader. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch again. That may be a choice every week now. Let's say he'll lead 18 laps this weekend at Las Vegas. Thanks for playing along on the WIX Filters Pick 3 Stock Car Racing Fantasy Game, and stay tuned to SceneDaily.com for more. Thanks.